So that's the WIA. A couple of new updates about XDS-I that Mike mentioned earlier that I want to highlight, especially for those of you that deploy XDS-I, that think this new CPs are very important. The first one is CP 352. That one, we now introduce a new reference ID option so that in the reference ID list, XDS-I already support a session number, and now this option also includes the ability to set the study instance UID in the reference ID list. And as many of you know, study instance UID is very important, unique key in imaging world. So now both information is available in the reference ID list. Another CPs is the 320. So we added a new option called the delete imaging document option for the imaging document source. These options require the imaging document source to be grouped with the ITI, the new profile called RMD, remove metadata and documents, so that now you have a proper way to delete documents like a manifest or report from the registry and the repository when the imaging study is deleted from the PACS or the VNA. In the past, there's only a kind of abstract wording in the profile, but no specific details about it. So there are lots of different implementation variations in the field. So now we have a more detailed out concrete option that you can handle the study deletion and propagate that logic to the XDS environment. So that's it for me for the update on WIA and enhancement on XDS-I.
Okay. Well, let me back up to the beginning very quickly. Just so everybody knows, my name is Mike Bohl. I am the RAD Planning Committee, one of the two co-chairs, and I am a medical executive that works for a radiology practice in Davenport, Iowa. So moving on here, briefly go over some outreach activities that the Planning Committee has been doing. We are reaching out and trying to share more information with some professional associations like RBMA and AHRA, two organizations whose memberships are primarily related to the management of radiology practices or radiology departments at hospitals and imaging centers to expose IHE activities to a broader audience. We have a LinkedIn. We've been active on LinkedIn. We created an IHE Radiology LinkedIn group. Currently, it is up to about 300 and actually 40 members as of today. You can see the growth as of RSNA last November, when we kicked it off shortly after RSNA. We've had really good growth. We use the IHE Radiology group to share information about IHE radiology activities. Importantly, I think here, you see the green box on the right, 52%. I categorize every membership when they come in, depending upon sort of who their employer is, what kind of person they are, management, MD, technologist, marketing within a department or a physician practice, and then, technical. Most people on this call are in the technical, the software development, the engineer, more traditional IHE member. The point here is that this group is reaching about 50% of them are what I would call sort of non-traditional people that have any association with IHE on an ongoing basis. We use LinkedIn to share information, to the memberships, and I also have written, and we write articles that we post to LinkedIn in general and share them to about 12 other radiology-oriented groups on LinkedIn, and through those, at least in theory, if you add up all of their memberships, that's exposing some of this information to quite literally tens of thousands of people, depending upon, you know, how much they're paying attention to it. You never know. We are also undertaking sort of a new initiative here where we're going to, you know, undertake sort of a profile advocacy, implementation advocacy initiative where we have a profile that we're going to try to work with some specific, and we're going to have outreach to specific kinds of consumers, whether it's associations and their memberships for end users and some modalities. It's not really something that you know, we're just getting off the ground, so I can't describe it in too much detail, but it's going to be another attempt at sort of promoting IHE and what we're doing here and broaden the information available to others in the end user and vendor communities. So with that, we're going to get to questions very quickly. Again, the profiles, there's the link to the profiles. There is an underscore between technical and frameworks. The IHE wiki has a listing of the profiles. We'd encourage you, if you would like, to join IHE Radiology LinkedIn group. And to do that, if you notice on this image here on the bottom right, if you go to the top of the search bar, typing in IHE Radiology, you should see IHE Radiology Group. Click on that and submit a request to join. If you have any questions or want some follow-up information, the easiest way to get at either the links or answer a question, get directed to the right person, send an email to secretary@ihe.net. Ask the question, and we will work to get you the answer.